Hey and welcome back to the channel. I'm back out in the countryside finally. So in the last video we looked at fucking hell. Hey guys and welcome back to the channel. Now I'm back out in the countryside, thankfully. It's been far too long. Now in the last video, for fuck's sake, hey guys and welcome back to the channel. I've got back out in the countryside, thankfully. It's been far too long. Now the reason we're out here because we're going to be continuing the theme that I started in the last video, where we're trying to reduce rucksack weight. So today we're going to be looking at accommodation, looking at what we call your home whilst out on the trail. So we're going to be trying to reduce the weight there without compromising on comfort, room and everything else that comes with it. Now this video is going to be talking a load of bollocks. Wow. Hey and welcome back to the channel. I'm finally back out in the countryside and I feel brilliant. It's a bit nippy, but plenty of lays and we'll be fine. So in this video we're going to be carrying on the theme of looking at reducing our rucksack weight. Now in the last video we looked at water bottles and water filters. In this one we're going to be looking at accommodation. We're going to look at your home that you have out on the trail. So we're going to try and reduce what we can there. So without reducing any comfort, without reducing any room or compromising in any way whatsoever, I'm going to be reducing your weight. So what we're going to be doing is looking at a tent. Again, bollocks. Fucking hell, Neil. Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be continuing reducing our rucksack weight. So we're going to be looking at this time is accommodation, the home you have out on the trail. So the tent I've got to review today and look at doesn't have the conventional tent pole system. It is a trekking pole tent and only weighs 924 grams. It's coming up.
I found my voice and courage because nature finds hers. She has the courage to survive harsh winters, to be reborn in the spring. And I must do the same. I must find the strength to hold steadfast when life gets stormy, when the freezing cold tries to break my spirit, to discover that my heart has the power and strength to beat harder and stronger.
Right, so the tent we're going to be looking at today is a one-man trekking pole expedition tent. I wanted to reduce the weight from one of the other tents that I have. Now I have the Bobcat, I have the OEX Fox 1 and the OEX Fox 2. Now the Bobcat weighs 1,751 grams, so 1.75 kilograms. The OEX Fox 2 I think is 2 kilograms, somewhere around that figure. I'll show you a picture of it here. And the Fox 1, as I've said before on the other video, weighs 1.5 kilograms. Now there's a lot of weight there. So the tent I've got now only weighs 924 grams. So that is a saving of 626 grams. And here it is. This is the Nightcat one-person trekking pole tent. I mean, it's really lightweight. I've had it out once and squashed it down, and it packs down a lot smaller than any of the OEX tents. And I'll just show you a picture here. of the difference between the other 3 tents that I have and this one, and you can see there's a massive difference. So it's a space saving idea for your rucksack. So let's get it out and have a look, shall we? Right, I've just put my gloves back on because it's bloody cold up here. It's -5 at the moment. So the tent itself comes in this lovely little well, dry bag. It's a bit of a stuff sack with 2 straps on the side. So all we need to do is just unclip them, one side and the other. And it's just a normal conventional dry bag. Now the pegs themselves are only tiny, so I changed them for some other titanium pegs that I have that are incredibly lightweight. So I'll pop a picture of here of the difference between the two, but I changed them for these ones. They're a bit longer, so you've got a bit more added security within your tent, so you know it's going to be all right in strong winds. But the other ones, I'm going to show you on this picture here, but they're only about that small, and they're a lot thinner than these. But these, I think they're a lot more solid. So yeah, so there's no weight gain with these, and they're exactly the same weight as the other ones. So that's them. So pop them there. Now the tent itself. Right, so the tent itself, it's an inner and outer pitch together. So yeah, so just lay it out on the ground is job number 1, and then all we do is we peg out all the corners first. I'm not very good at fucking tent review videos, if I'm honest. Right, so as I said before, there's the inner first. So we pop that into the ground first, squash that one in, and then we just go around and do the same for all the others. Right, so that's the tent base completely pegged out now. As you can see, you've got the inner done. So all we need to do now is pop the straps. So all we do with these is you've got a little loop. It's hard to do this one-handed. A little loop on the end there. And you just pop them over the top of your tent peg or stake if you're in the US, and that sticks over that like so. Then we just go around and do the same with all the others. Who said doing tent review videos was easy? It's bloody not. God, my hands are like, oh, they're so cold. Right, so there we go. We've got the tent, the pegs are in, the straps are over the top. So all we need to do now is get our trekking pole in, and then we'll do the next step. Right, so we've got our trekking pole tent here. Trekking pole tent, yes we have. Trekking pole. Okay, so your trekking pole needs to be set at 120 centimetres is the guidelines. Yeah, I mean it works on that, but if you want to lower it a little bit or high for yourself, then then do so. So this just need to unzip the door, and in the top of the door, in the top there, you've got a little insert which sits right here, a little hardened bit. You'll feel it with your hand. Then you just pop your trekking pole in there. Then you pop it up, and then you find there's a little eyelet at the bottom with a loop on it, a paracord. You just pop it in there. And then for me, what I do is just stick it in the ground. I'll compromise that. no, yeah, you just stick it in the ground there and it keeps it in place. And then re-zip up your door, and then we need to put out the guy lines. Now start with the front one because you need that to give it structure. Now this is a bit of a pain in the arse because you've got this bullhorn clip on it, and it can be really hard work getting it right because you've got to clip the two front loops into that so it sits nice. So if you just get hold of it, clip them both round, one on one, one on the other. But again, it's a bit fiddly. Then you grab the outer strap without twisting it, like that. I don't know how this bloody works, if I'm honest. I don't know how this works. It's a bugger to work out, is this, if we're honest. Yeah, because it ends up like that, you see. And we don't want that, so I don't know how that works. So, leave it with me, I'll work it out. Right, we've worked it out. We needed to drop the loop down from the top, because it's got this little reflector on it. So we need to just drop that down, and that gives you your structure at this side. So you just tighten, then you can just tighten it up, and you've got your structure at this front side there. So I'll just go around now and peg out the rest of the guy lines. No, we won't. Right, so what we need to do now is just go around and tighten the straps down, because this will give your tent its structure, like so. So there we go. So that tent on its own is actually really, really solid. It's not going anywhere. And obviously you've got your extra guy lines. You've got one there on this side which pulls it out. Same on the back side. And then you've got the same on this front side. Right, so there you go, your tent's up. The outer, obviously it's all together. We've worked out these bloody ram's horns things. That was a pigging nightmare, but we got there. So yeah, it's up. The outer shell is 5,000mm hydrostatic head, which means it'll pretty much take everything Mother Nature throws at it in this country. And the inner, the bathtub, don't like that term, is 8,000 hydrostatic head. So again, if you have torrential rain or whatever, and it, you know, I don't think anything's getting through there. So yeah, let's go and have a look inside. Right, so you got the Nightcat logo here. A lot of people say they don't like this, but for me, I don't mind it. I think it's quite cute. So we just need to unclip one side of the door from this. Right, so that's that done. This has got a hard piece into it. So again, it's a good wind shelter. So it'll keep the rain out your zip. And then we just need to unzip there. And then I'll just tie this up and come back to you. Right, so here you go, that's clipped back now. And we've got a rather large vestibule area there for your pack, and for cooking as well in the if you got inclement weather. Then obviously you got your zip here into the inner, and in we go. So it's quite large in here. You've got enough room in here, and a lot of people say this side that it's sat on the ground, but I've never experienced that, because every time I put this up, you've always had that stuck up, you know, so you got a proper bathtub. But yeah, so there we go, and there's not a bad view. No, do it like this now. Right, so I'm led down in this tent now. I've got my feet right at the bottom, and I've got loads of room at the top. You know, I put my arm above my head. You know, a lot of people say there's not enough room in these tents, but for me, I think it's all right. I mean, yeah, there's a large gap under the door at the front here, but there are ways past that. You can pull the guy line all the way to the top and actually pin the doors down with a peg on its own. So that'll bring it right down or lower your pole. So we look down the bottom end. We've got a pocket there. And then my feet are right at the bottom there. And then above us we've got obviously a hook for a lamp. And yeah. But yeah, a lot of people complain there's no zip on this side. But for me, I'm not really bothered. Because it's I think it compromises on weight. So you add another zip, you're adding more weight. But it's enough that having that zip at that side. I'd probably sleep up this side. Have my head end here, because then you can pop your feet out then, rather than having to turn round. But yeah, there's loads of room in here. I mean, behind me, you've got like a little area where you can put your stuff. And yeah, it's all right. As far as sitting up goes, I'm going to sit up in the tent. I'm sat here in the middle. I mean, yes, my head's touching a little bit, but do you know what? I'm not bothered. It's all right in here. So you've got your tent closed. You've got a large vestibule area there. You get a little mat at the front there, and can have everything outside, and I think you'll be all right in here. So yeah, really happy with it. So yeah, this is how it looks from the outside. Just around the whole tent. I mean, it's not put up properly because it's a bit lumpy and bumpy where I am, but it's up and it looks nice. So there we go. That is the Nightcat one-person trekking pole tent. Alright, one thing I forgot to mention was the air vent here. It's quite a good one. So it's really good. Right, so there we go, that's the Nightcat. I'm going to get this put away because I am absolutely freezing up here. And yeah, I will be back shortly. Right, so there you go. That's the Nightcat one-person trekking pole tent. It only takes 2 minutes to put down and pack away. You know, just fold it a little bit and just shove it in its stuff sack and pack your pegs. But yeah, I needed this. I'm bloody cold. Oh, that's good. Now yeah, like I was saying earlier about the OEX. Oh shit, sorry. The OEX not trekking pole, backpacking tents that I have. You've got obviously the Bobcat, the Fox 1, the Fox 2. So if I use I don't know, maybe the Bobcat, we'll use that as an example. I'll put a picture of it here on its scales, and I think it's 1,751 grams. Now that's a lot of weight, but then you add your sleep. Well, granted, some people might think, well, it's only 1.7, but you know, it's not much. But then when you put the weight of your sleeping mat on there, which for you know, a middle of the range sleeping mat is usually an inflatable one I'm talking about, is around 500 to 600 grams. So when you add that on, you're talking 2.3, 2.4, and then your sleeping bag, which is about 1.5. So before you know it, you're hitting 5 kilograms. You know, and it's a lot of weight when you really think about it. So using the Nightcat there, you know, 924 grams. My sleeping mat inflatable is a Trekology one, and it's 600 grams. So with those two combined, it's still less weight than the Bobcat on its own. So you see what I'm getting at? And then we have my sleeping bag, which is 1.495 kilograms. So call it 1.5 for argument's sake. So you're talking just 3 kilograms for my entire sleep system. So that's 2 kilograms. 2 shaved off your sleep system in your accommodation already. Yeah, worth thinking about. Plus your water bottle as well. You know, another 200 grams there shaved off. So yeah, so that's what, 2.2 plus water filter. Yeah, 2.5 kilograms off my base weight already on water and accommodation. Worth thinking about. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed that video. I hope it's been informative. It's my first ever tent review video, and you know what? They're not easy to bloody make, these things. They're exhausting because you've got so much to think about, and you know, you're flying around. There's people passing you like hello, and this like, oh, that's a nice tent, isn't it? And this kind of stuff. So you get interrupted all the time, and you get some funny looks saying, "What do you think you're doing putting a tent there?" You know. So yeah, you don't see these things on camera, but there you go. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's been informative enough. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up, because that helps the algorithm. I know you hear that all the time, but it does. The more thumbs up you get, the more people it's recommended to, and the more people that I can hopefully help out by passing on, you know, my thoughts and you know, my knowledge, you know, my experiences. So so yeah, please just hit that subscribe button, and that would be fantastic. So yeah, I'm going to continue these rucksack reduction videos. So we looked at water poles, now we looked at accommodation. Next thing, I'm going to be looking at camping chairs, just to see what's out there, and tell you what, I've got a few to look at. So look out for that next video. So from the beautiful Longridge Fell, just outside Longridge, take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.